I am cutting for Miami Pro and this is exactly what I'm eating. This is the first time I'm stepping on stage. I'm gonna enter the over 35s physique. So I'll be over 75 kilos. Currently 15 weeks out and sitting at around 93.5 kilograms. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through my diet and tell you the whys. It's very likely not what you think it's gonna be. If this is your first time here, I'm a certified and qualified performance nutritionist and online coach. I've been training for over 19 years, but 6 years ago, I had a massive setback. Just some background on me. If you've already heard all this stuff, you can skip this part. I put it in chapters, so it's pretty easy to skip. So, 6 years ago, I decided it's time to quit my office job. I wanted to be a professional mixed martial arts fighter, so I quit. But as I was quitting, obviously I was amping up training because I wanted to fight. With MMA, you do wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, some kickboxing, boxing. Those are some of the facets, the main principles that make up MMA. So I was training at this point, like 15 hours a week and working 50 to 60 hours a week. One day I decided, I'm feeling a bit tired, but I need to get the training in because I needed to train that much to get up to speed to be ready to fight. So, got to training, was feeling a bit tired, almost just said, you know what, I'm gonna leave it. Got to training, pushed it really hard, to the point where I was like, I had like nothing left in me. I was sparring and then suddenly I felt like a tweak and woke up the next morning, really early morning, like 3 a.m., sweating, like in cold sweat, to find that I couldn't move my left arm. Like a few weeks later, I got a scan and it turned out, I got an MRI scan actually, turned out that I had compressed a nerve at C6, C7, and I had a bulging disc as well. So that was compressed. So my left side, so my left pec and my left arm completely, numb and very weak. I couldn't even do a push-up at this point. I was actually told I needed surgery. I avoided that through like good solid rehab. But to this day, I would say that it's about 80% of the strength of my right arm, which means that my left side is slightly compromised in terms of proportions. I'm not able to push my right side as hard because I don't want to accelerate that muscle imbalance, but I'm working through it. It's getting better. It's looking good. So just to go over macros and calories, I'm 6'4", 37. I started at 99 kilograms. Now I'm 93.5. Just throughout this process, I've been working with a coach. I've actually been working with Milo Wolf, who's assigned me the macros, but the actual nutrition, the actual diet side of things, I'm doing myself just because I prefer to do that. He's mostly sorting my training out. So my starting calories and macros, 2,500 calories, 160 grams of protein, 330 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. That's on training days. Non-training days, 2,200 calories, then 160 grams of protein, 255 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. So fat and protein stayed the same. And now I'm consuming 2,400 calories on workout days, 160 grams of protein, 305 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. And non-training days, 2,100 calories. 2,100 calories, 160 grams of protein, 230 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. Now to get to my Gordon Ramsay meals. So pre-workouts, Monday to Friday, I'll have 4 dried apricots, a fish, and a rice cake. And I'm joking. I'll have 1 apple, a scoop of protein powder with water, and a scoop of creatine, 5 grams of creatine, and rhodiola as well, 1 capsule of rhodiola. So that will be my pre-workout. And then that's around 30 to 45 minutes. When I get back from the gym, this is my first bit of caffeine, 1 black coffee, and also it's my last bit of caffeine. I'm not huge on caffeine because I like sleeping, but I love having that morning coffee, and I actually have it post-workout. My breakfast has remained largely the same for a very long time, for like 3 years now. I've just changed the portion sizes, maybe the topping of the oats. So you've got here 4 fried eggs with a side of kimchi. So you're looking at 2 tablespoons of raw kimchi just for overall gut health, and then oats. With my oats, there's a lot of moving parts to it, but it's just a way to maximize the amount of volume. So I add psyllium husk basically into it, which bulks it out with less oats. So just essentially an oat mix with a topping of berries. I put the full recipe below if you want to try it yourself. It's got half a scoop of protein in it too. Like overnight cold oats rather than heated oats. So this is my typical lunch: a potato of some sort, a large portion of green vegetables, really whatever I can get my hands on or whatever I've got in, just to make the meal more filling and to not compromise the taste. Some people just put stupid amounts of vegetables and it just tastes like garbage. I still want it to taste like good, but have a good amount of vegetables. And then the protein source is typically 5% fat minced or chicken breast. I don't really eat much fish, so I supplement on omega-3, but supplements is for another day. So a lot of people will have a snack between like lunch and dinner. I don't do snacks. I have 4 meals, sometimes 3 on a weekend, but 4 meals with roughly equally distributed protein. My final meal has less protein in it, but breakfast, lunch and dinner, breakfast and lunch have like a similar amount of protein. Research has shown that there's no real difference between having 4 meals and 6 meals for muscle growth. So I stick with 4 because I find it convenient. You can have another snack if you wanted, but not for me. Just too time consuming, too much to think about. I prefer just sticking with the 4 meals. Dinner Monday to Friday varies, so it can be a pasta with like prawns. I'm a big fan of prawns, shrimps. They're a bit pricey and take a bit longer to prepare than like chicken or beef, but I do love shrimp. Very lean, good source of protein, and obviously tastes great. So my dinner usually gets more attention, so I'm not showing you the best examples. It can be very similar to lunch. This is Monday, I'd say Monday to Thursday. At this point, you're probably thinking, this guy, like, so religious with his meals, everything's just so clean. Friday, I usually order takeaway. Most nights, I'll eat dessert after dinner, something. Could be like some sorbet, which I've become a big fan of recently because it's so low in calories and high in volume. It could be like a chocolate bar, it could be an ice cream. Either way, I save like 100 to 200 calories for dessert most nights. Not every night, most nights. I usually finish my meal 2 to 3 hours before I sleep. I find I sleep the best by doing that. So I've stuck with that for some time and I'm continuing to stick with that. On the weekend, breakfast and lunch is very light, like combined like 300 to 700 calories. For breakfast, it's usually eggs plus like some Greek yogurt. For lunch, it's usually like a chicken salad or like a prawn salad. And then I might have a protein shake because I tend to go out like Saturday night for dinner or make something more indulgent or maybe even order in. So I save the calories and I do like to get pastries. So on a weekend, I typically get a pastry Saturday and a pastry Sunday. Sunday's similar to Saturday, but I will more often than not get takeaway on Sunday. But if I've got takeaway on a Saturday and a Friday, I will get like some food in that's simple and I'll spend some time making like reinventing like a takeaway of some sort. So making it healthier. So that's my diet in a wrap. As you can see, 80% of the time, whole foods, filling whole foods. I'm rarely hungry eating like this and I'm enjoying it. I'm not having that feeling like I want to binge or just go crazy or it's driving me crazy. I don't have low energy and I'm drinking 1 coffee a day and that's in the morning. So that's all for my diet and I'm 15 weeks out now. So I'm going to update you with a video in the future. We might go over my supplements and my training in the future as well. But if you have any questions at all, comment below. Any deeper questions, feel free to send me a message on Instagram @AdamScottFit. Have the best day ever, and we'll talk soon.